Have you ever been to a wedding where everything seemed picture perfect, but then a single moment changed your entire life forever? Before I tell you what happened, let me just say if you enjoy stories filled with emotion, suspense, and heart-pounding twists, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because what I'm about to share with you is something that shook me to my core. And it all started at my best friend's wedding. The air was filled with laughter and music that night. The clinking of glasses, the chatter of families coming together, and the glow of fairy lights hanging across the grand outdoor garden where the reception was taking place. My best friend Daniel was the groom, and I had known him since childhood. We grew up together, shared everything from late-night talks to dreams of what our futures might look like. Seeing him standing tall in his navy tuxedo, hand in hand with his bride, his eyes full of love, made me feel proud, like I was watching my brother finally step into the next chapter of his life. I thought the night was only about him and his happiness. But little did I know, I was about to become part of something that would shake me deeply, something I never imagined. It started when I stepped away from the main hall to grab some air. That's when I felt a soft tap on my shoulder. I turned around and saw her. Anna, Daniel's younger sister. She was 24, a couple of years younger than me, with the same chestnut hair as her brother, but softer, falling over her shoulders in waves. Her emerald green dress shimmered faintly under the garden lights, and her eyes carried something I couldn't quite read. Was it worry? Was it desperation? All I knew was that in that crowded, joyous place, she looked at me like I was the only one who could hear what she needed to say. "Can I talk to you?" she whispered, almost trembling. I nodded, confused, but curious, and followed her as she led me away from the music and laughter. We stopped near the old oak tree at the far end of the venue, where shadows shielded us from everyone else's view. She turned, clutching her hands together, and said the words that made my heart stop. "I need you tonight." For a moment, I thought I had misheard her. The noise from the reception echoed faintly behind us, but her voice was steady, her eyes locked onto mine. My mind raced. What could she possibly mean by that? This was her brother's wedding night. Why would she pull me aside and say something so intense? She took a deep breath as if gathering the courage to explain herself and finally said, "I can't be here alone tonight. I can't explain everything right now, but please, I just need you. You're the only one I can trust." My chest tightened as I watched her fight back tears, her voice breaking on the last word. I wanted to ask 100 questions. What was going on? Why me? What had happened? But the only thing I could see was how vulnerable she looked. How every wall she normally carried had crumbled. Anna had always been the vibrant one, full of laughter, full of energy, the kind of girl who could light up a room just by stepping inside. But tonight, there was no sparkle in her smile, only a trembling fear that she couldn't hide. "Anna," I said softly. "What's wrong? What happened?" She shook her head. "Not here. Not now. Just promise me you'll come when I ask. Promise me you won't leave me alone tonight." I felt torn. My loyalty was to Daniel, my best friend. But how could I walk away from Anna when she was clearly hurting? The music swelled behind us, the DJ announcing the couple's first dance. And for a second, Anna's face was illuminated by the fairy lights. The way her eyes pleaded with me left no room for doubt. Whatever it was, she needed me. So, I nodded. "I promise." The rest of the night was a blur. I went back to the hall, clapped, cheered, laughed with everyone else, but my mind kept drifting back to Anna. She kept her distance, staying near her family, smiling just enough so no one would notice her trembling hands. And yet, every time our eyes met across the crowd, I felt the weight of that promise pulling me closer to her. By the end of the wedding, when the couple had driven off and guests started leaving, Anna found me again. Without a word, she slipped her hand into mine, her grip tight, as if letting go would break her completely. I didn't resist. Together, we walked into the night, away from the last fading echoes of the wedding celebration, into a story neither of us had planned, but both of us were about to live. The night outside was quiet, so different from the noise of the reception we had just left. The cool air brushed against us as Anna led me down the road, her heels clicking softly against the pavement. She hadn't spoken yet, and I didn't press her. I could sense she was trying to gather herself, trying to hold back the storm of emotions threatening to spill over. Finally, after a few minutes, she whispered, "Thank you for not asking too much. I need someone tonight who sees me. Not the perfect family image, not the cheerful sister, just me." Her words hit me harder than I expected. I realized then how often people saw Anna as just Daniel's younger sister, always smiling, always in the background. But beneath that, she was someone carrying her own burdens, someone whose pain had been invisible until now. She led me to a small cafe near the edge of town, one that stayed open late. The warm glow of the lights inside contrasted with the heaviness of her expression. We sat down, and for the first time, she let the truth pour out. She told me about the pressure she'd been under for months, the expectations from her family, the comparisons, the silent battles she fought every day. She admitted she felt lost, like everyone else's happiness came at the cost of her own voice being silenced. And tonight, watching her brother get married, watching everyone celebrate new beginnings, only reminded her of how alone she felt in her own life. Her eyes filled with tears as she whispered, "I didn't know who else to call. But I knew if I asked you, you'd understand. You've always been kind to me. You've always seen me, not just as someone's sister, but as me." Something inside me broke hearing that. I reached across the table, gently taking her hand in mine, and I told her, "Anna, you don't have to go through this alone. Not tonight, not ever. I'm here." And in that quiet cafe, with the hum of soft music in the background and the clinking of cups around us, she finally let herself cry. Not holding back, not pretending. She cried into my shoulder, and I held her, knowing that sometimes being there for someone means more than any words could ever say. That night wasn't about romance. It wasn't about stolen moments or secret desires. It was about connection, about being someone's anchor when they felt like they were drowning. It was about a promise kept under the old oak tree and the silent understanding between two souls who needed each other more than they realized. When I finally walked Anna home, she hugged me tightly before going inside, whispering, "Thank you. You saved me tonight." And I knew deep down that no matter where life took us, that night would always bind us together in a way no one else could ever understand. And that's why I had to share this story with you. Because sometimes the most life-changing moments don't come with fireworks or dramatic gestures. They come in whispers, in quiet tears, in simple words like, "I need you tonight." If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories like this one. Because sometimes what we need most isn't a perfect ending. It's knowing that in the darkest nights, someone will always be there to say, "You're not alone."